Good, happy Thursday morning, February 4th, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday morning, so let's begin. First up, we're going to begin with a check of your weather. There was some spotty snow showers overnight, but we hear that the sun will be making a return today. So with more on that weather forecast, let's go to meteorologist Mike Haddad with that weather forecast right now.
Here at Gunstock Mountain Resort, we are excited to share a healthy and fun 2021 season with you. Know before you go and visit gunstock.com to buy tickets and for the latest info. We can't wait to create memories with you and yours all winter long.
Thank you very much for joining us. Stormwatch 9 weather on the web. Another weekend quickly approaching, but before we get to that point, could be a passing snow shower tonight, mostly in northern New Hampshire. The sun makes a return on Thursday, and then a very weak system brings some light snow for many. Concord north, light snow to a light mix or rain south and east during Friday from late morning into the early part of the evening. At this point, accumulations look to be fairly low, but there may be a few slick spots during the late morning, early afternoon, especially the farther north and west that you do go. Temperatures overnight, 20s to around 30 at the coast, so well above average due to the clouds kind of keeping any of the warmth that we picked up earlier in the day from escaping. Not that we had a whole lot of warmth, but kind of acts as a blanket, those clouds, to keep any of that warmth down near the ground. And those clouds could produce a couple of snow showers through about the pre-dawn of Thursday morning. As for tomorrow, the sun makes a return, so we get bright skies in here. The exception could be far northern New Hampshire with lingering flurries early and lingering clouds in the afternoon. And speaking of clouds, next system is going to race across the country so that by late morning and early afternoon on Friday, it's right on top of New Hampshire, but very little moisture expected out of that. So here are the lingering flurries early tomorrow morning. Elsewhere, the clouds give way to developing sun, just a little bit breezy out of the northwest. Then, during later Thursday night, a few high clouds move in. They'll lower and thicken during Friday morning. The morning commute looks to be in good shape, but then during the late morning and afternoon, roadways, especially north and west of Concord, may become snow-covered, especially on the untreated surfaces, while in southern New Hampshire, mainly Concord south and east, that light wet snow may go over to light rain. That'll keep the amounts under a coating to a half inch anywhere south and east of Concord. Now to the north and west, a better shot of 1 to 2 inches, maybe spot 3 in the highest elevations of the White Mountains. And again, the roadways dramatically improving during the afternoon as we warm above freezing. And then the sun goes to work during the day on Saturday. By Sunday, partly sunny, and then a few afternoon flurries, mainly up north. Clouds, breaks of sun, a flurry on Monday, and then there's a chance of some heavier snow by Tuesday. Still several days out, and we'll fine-tune the track on that system as we get closer to it.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your traffic and see how your morning commute is looking like for this morning. Let's take a look at your morning traffic this Thursday morning. And here's a look at that morning traffic for all of you for this Thursday morning. In Henniker, smooth sailing. Hopkinton, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Bow Pembroke and Concord, smooth sailing with medium-paced traffic. Bosquen, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Chichester, smooth sailing. Epsom, smooth sailing. Northwood, smooth sailing. Lee, smooth sailing. Durham, smooth sailing. Rochester, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Somersworth, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. And Dover, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Portsmouth, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Portsmouth into Maine, smooth sailing with a little spot of medium-paced traffic. Rye, smooth sailing. Northampton, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Hampton, smooth sailing. And Seabrook, smooth sailing into the border of Massachusetts. Then once you get into the border of Massachusetts, some smooth sailing and medium pace traffic. On 101, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic, as you can see. Manchester Hooksett, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Around the Manchester Airport, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Bedford, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Amherst, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. And Milford, smooth sailing. Manchester, Merrimack, Nashua into the border of Massachusetts, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Nashua, Milford, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Manchester, Derry, Windham, Salem into the border of Massachusetts, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. And that is a look at your morning traffic this morning. And now let's take a look at your traffic cam. And here's a look at the Rochester to Portsmouth traffic cam, Spalding Turnpike. And as you can see, not too bad out there. No cars in sight right now, so that is good news there. A few car headlights here and here. And Spalding traffic is provided by New Hampshire DOT. And that is a check of your morning traffic this Thursday morning. Now let's get to your news. First up, let's do your COVID-19 update. COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 66,721 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 26,517,212 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 1,076 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 207 current number of hospitalizations of COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 448,862 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. In Manchester, 382. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 8,929. Now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here in new cases each day in New Hampshire. New positive COVID-19 cases in the purple. New hospitalizations in orange and red deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Current COVID-19 cases in the purple and current hospitalizations in the orange. And let's take a look at this chart here. Total positive COVID-19 cases, purple. Total hospitalizations, orange. Red deaths, and blue recovered. And let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate, positive PCR and antigen test rate, daily PCR tests. And let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases and female and male of cases. And let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Patient wears thin as vaccination scheduling problem continues. Governor says more appointments available by end of week. State will call those who need a second dose. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Winter weather has arrived, and Beltate's Building Supply is here to help you get through it. Shop one of our 9 locations safely, order by phone, or shop online at beltates.com. We offer in-store or curbside pickup and free delivery. Count on Beltate's Building Supply this winter.
The VAMS website has become a household name, especially for seniors struggling to schedule vaccine appointments.
Very frustrated. I mean, there's no place to turn. There's no answer. Nobody out there to help you. You're on your own.
Tuesday morning, second dose scheduling went online, requiring people in Phase 1B to cancel appointments in order to sign up for an earlier date. But that calendar was not available. The failure triggered frustration and fear. The 211 call center was flooded.
Other states give second appointments at the same time. So why are thousands of people waiting in line? They know we've gotten the first one.
Despite the computer glitches, the governor says the doses are there and everyone who needs a second shot will get it within 7 days of the recommended window.
You'll be able to go in by the end of this week and move yourself up within a week of your scheduled date. And if you don't, for some reason, we'll proactively reach out and make sure that you know that that opportunity is available to you.
The governor says New Hampshire signed up for the VAMS federal software, which stands for Vaccine Administration Management System, because the state never needed large-scale vaccination before. That's about to change.
We have a new system that the state is going to be implementing. We're building our own system. We're getting off the clunky federal stuff. We're going to have our own system, and that'll be up and running before the next phase.
And as computer scheduling improves and more doses arrive, the state expects to move up first dose appointments as well. Live in the studio tonight, Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire health officials see positive COVID-19 trend, but pandemic far from over. Vaccination efforts continue in long-term care facilities. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
When it's time to invest in a new roof, be smart and look at more factors than just the final price. Not all roofs are the same, and not all roofers are the same. Ask the questions. Do they offer?
The state's epidemiologist says the number of new COVID infections per day has decreased to about 500, and the positivity rate is below 5%.
We're currently hovering around 200 people statewide hospitalized with COVID-19 on any given day. Again, a substantial decrease from the 330, 340 people at our peak.
With that said, Dr. Benjamin Chan says those numbers are still much higher than the first wave of the pandemic, and vaccinations need to be a priority.
A very high percentage of our residents in skilled nursing facilities in New Hampshire had received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, over 80%.
And according to a recent publication by the CDC, New Hampshire is also doing well in vaccinating long-term care staff.
New Hampshire stands out on that map as being the singular state with the highest level of staff vaccination out of those skilled nursing facilities that participated in the PPP.
As scheduling for the second dose continues, Dr. Elizabeth Talbot has some advice about the time between vaccines.
The CDC calls out the time frame of 42 days as an acceptable time frame for that second dose. And even if it goes beyond 42 days, you should not repeat the series.
In the meantime, health officials are now focusing on COVID variants.
Our concern about their spread and are concerned that prior infection or vaccine may not fully protect like we thought it did is changing. Thankfully, none in New Hampshire yet. We've done some limited sequencing. We will continue to increase sequencing of positive specimens But at some point, we likely will find these variants in New Hampshire.
Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Monadnock Restaurant Project aims to boost traffic at local eateries using gift cards, hoping to inspire others to do the same. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Over time, the flue tiles inside your chimney may become damaged from water, age, or even a chimney fire, which could lead to dangerous toxins.
Every winter, restaurants in the Monadnock region expect business to slow down, but under the strain of the pandemic, many restaurants are hurting.
Going into December, I kind of got an inkling we needed to do something as a community, which this community does all the time. Keene and the Monadnock region always steps up to help around.
Enter the Monadnock Restaurant Project. 3 local organizations teamed up to buy $10,000 in gift cards to locally owned eateries. Now they're distributing them through the community to those who have promised to use them quickly and spend more than what's on the card.
It's about starting this kind of movement, starting this rally, starting this energy that, well, maybe this company wants to do it with their employees, or this individual wants to do it with his friends.
The Monadnock region has never ceased to amaze me in the community spirit.
CC&D's Kitchen Market in Keene is one of the more than 24 restaurants taking part.
Even something like this just kind of lifts your spirit and just kind of makes you dig in and what else can we do to try something different and to keep going on.
The goal is to boost business, support jobs, and create momentum to inspire others to do the same. For more information, head to tlcmonadnock.com. Monica Hernandez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Stock features mixed as S&P 500 struggle to build on its 3-day winning streak. Features contracts tied to the major U.S. stock indexes were mixed during early morning trading on Thursday as Wall Street struggled to continue the S&P 500's winning streak. House to vote on removal of newly elected Congresswoman from committee roles. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
It's great to have you with us here on this Wednesday night, and as we come on the air tonight, we are following 2 major headlines playing out on Capitol Hill. First, the nation honoring the Capitol police officer killed in the deadly siege on the Hill, the powerful images playing out today. And of course, the other headline, the test within the Republican Party over what to do about Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has questioned whether parts of 9/11 happened and has suggested the Parkland massacre, the Sandy Hook shootings were staged. Those moving images, though, first. This began last night after the news, straight into the night and all day today, honoring Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick, lying in honor inside the Capitol, only the 5th person to do so. Officer Sicknick dying of injuries he sustained while defending the Capitol, defending lawmakers during the siege. President Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden paying him a solemn tribute. And then there was this today. Late this afternoon, House Republicans holding a high-stakes meeting over one of their own, Representative Taylor Greene. There have been calls to rebuke her, to strip her of her committee posts, but Republicans, we have learned, have decided late today, and this is all moving, but so far, to allow her to keep her posts. So what's next? Democrats now forcing a vote to make sure Republicans are on record on this. We have it all covered tonight, beginning with that debate within the Republican Party, and we begin here with Rachel Scott up on the Hill again tonight.
Tonight on Capitol Hill, a moment of reckoning for House Republicans, forced to decide whether to stand by newly elected Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has promoted a series of outlandish, racist, and anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, questioning whether parts of 9/11 happened and whether the Sandy Hook and Parkland school shootings were staged.
Congresswoman, what is your message to your party?
In the past, the Georgia Congresswoman expressed support for the false conspiracy theory QAnon. And in 2019, she implied House Speaker Nancy Pelosi should be executed.
It's a crime punishable by death, is what treason is. Nancy Pelosi is guilty of treason.
She has even speculated a plane never flew into the Pentagon on 9/11.
It's odd, there's never any evidence shown for a plane in the Pentagon.
And after suggesting those school shootings were staged, she later harassed teenage Parkland survivor David Hogg when he traveled to Washington, D.C. to lobby for gun control.
Yeah, you're attacking our Second Amendment.
Still, even after all that, House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy gave Green seats on the House Education and Budget Committees. Democrats say that's nuts.
Kevin McCarthy should handle this problem because Marjorie Taylor Greene is totally out of control.
And it's not just Democrats. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell attacking Greene, saying loony lies and conspiracy theories are cancer for the Republican Party and our country.
Anti-Semitism, school shootings weren't real. I mean, she runs the gamut. The idea that, forest fires were started by, Jewish lasers. I mean, it's just so profound, so far out there that it does make me wonder how she got elected.
But Congresswoman Greene does have one very powerful Republican in her corner, former President Donald Trump.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, I love Marjorie.
And that has put House Republicans in a bind as they met tonight to decide whether to strip away Greene's committee assignments. Ultimately, they decided not to. In a statement, Republican leader Kevin McCarthy saying he had spoken to Greene, and she recognized that her past comments now have greater meaning.
Congresswoman, will you apologize for any of your past statements?
Greene herself taking nothing back. Recently tweeting, "I won't back down. I'll never apologize."
So let's get right back to Rachel Scott up on the Hill again tonight for us. And Rachel, we learned late today, as you reported there, that House Republicans have decided that they won't take away Congresswoman Greene's committee assignments. But now we know tomorrow the full House, Republicans and Democrats, will have to vote on this. And Democrats have the majority in the House. So bottom line here, what's going to happen?
Well, David, this vote will be key because it's going to put Republicans on the record. They are going to have to decide whether or not to look past Greene's comments or whether to split from their party. As you said, bottom line, Democrats have majority in the House. So if all of them stay united and vote against her, she will be stripped from her committee assignments, David.
And Rachel, as you know, this is a split screen of sorts because House Republicans tonight are also debating the fate of one of their highest-ranking members in the House, Congresswoman Liz Cheney, after backlash over her vote to impeach President Trump. Of course, she was one of the 10 Republicans in the House joining Democrats, facing that backlash for standing up to the president, former president now, after what she saw at the Capitol.
She's the number 3 Republican in the House, and immediately after her vote to impeach, we saw the backlash. Some of Trump's staunchest allies in the House demanded that she be removed from party leadership. Tonight, Republican leader Kevin McCarthy is defending her. He says that she has a right to vote her conscience, and Congresswoman Liz Cheney has no regrets. She says she will not apologize for her vote to impeach David.
The struggle within the party tonight. Rachel Scott leading us off. Rachel, thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.